So, welcome everyone. Thank you for being here. My name is Jackie Majerus, and this is Steve Collins. And together we are the co-founders of Youth Journalism International. And you didn't come here today to see us or hear from us. But I do want to say thank you for coming. And please know that your presence here is very much appreciated by us. I think you're in for a treat today. We've got a lot of the participants from the global conference in Prague are here to talk about their experiences. Unfortunately, a couple of our students are ill and they cannot come today. And I see more people are coming in. So,
and it's so great. I just want to say, it's so nice to see so many familiar faces. I'm so glad to see some YJI alums and students I haven't seen in a while. And so this is great.
Oh,
happy you're here.
I'm so glad Lily's here. Yeah. And some of our staunchest supporters. And it's very touching to have you here. So, got to get Holly's grandma in. And I'm going to just turn this over to the wonderful Arush Khalid, who is going to tell you a little bit about the conference. And then what we're going to do is let every student have their time talking about student and our alumni board members who were also at the conference. Have everyone have a chance to talk a little bit about what their experience was, and then we will have questions, and we also have a lot of pictures to show you guys. So that's sort of the order that we're going to do. So Arush, take it away.
Thank you so much, Jackie. Hello, everyone. My name is Arush Khalid, and I'm from Lahore, Pakistan. I'm currently in Boston for my studies, and I've been with YJI for 12 years or more. I'm currently also a board member. This conference was held in Prague in early July, I think, this year. And we had so many students from around the world. I think it was at least 10 countries that the students hailed from. They all came together for about 10 days, and we traveled across Prague. We also went to another city, I think. And we all just learned a lot from each other. One of I mean, I might be biased because I would just fly all across the world, even to other planets, to meet anyone who is in a part of the YJI family, because it's always such an enriching experience. But in this conference, it was even more special to me because our other board members, Shayna and Cassie, were also in attendance. We had one of our board meetings, and with the students, we went to all 9 towers, which was a lot. We climbed a lot of stairs. We went to many castles. I can't even remember them all. And the best part was that every student brought their own unique perspective. It was amazing. It just like walking across the street and you see something and someone says, that makes me think of XYZ. And then it just starts a conversation. It's thoughts, perspectives, beliefs that you would never come across if it wasn't for YJI. And then also all of our students stayed together the whole time in the same house. It was the YJI house in Prague for a while, and we all stayed together. Just the administration it took, and everyone who took initiative, helping each other, being kind to each other, checking up on everyone. It was a huge, amazing learning experience for everyone involved. And this was our second global conference. The first one happened last year in Istanbul, and it was incredible. I am going to now, now I'm going to ask students one by one, students and alums and our board members, to come and talk about how their experience went. And first of all, I will invite Owen to come and talk to us. Go, Owen.
Thank you, Aruj. Hi, yes, I'm Owen Ferguson. I'm from Scotland, YJI alum. I've been part of YJI since 2016. I went on the Istanbul conference, and I also stayed with Jackie at YJI headquarters in Maine for a few months, for giving me a work internship. So that was great. And yeah, the conference in Prague, wow, like even a few months later, so it's great to think about. Like Arush said, everyone lived together in the same house, and we joked like the token boy, as it were. But it was great. Everyone was so friendly, learning so much from each other. Everyone brought little gifts and trinkets and sweets from their native countries, which we all shared with one another. Played games every night. I had like a chance to like practice my Spanish and stuff, but then this was all in the house. Outside of that, we were in Prague every day, apart from our quick venture to Dresden. So, multiple countries in one conference. We've been doing a great there, but in Prague, we did so much. And you're going to see some amazing stories coming out about this soon. But yeah, I just like to say it's hard to think about. It was just a really great experience. I think my favorite part was actually the trip to Dresden. It was really cool to go into Germany and see all the history there. And yeah, I will think of some more stuff to say, but I know it's really great to think about. I mean, you'll see from the pictures and the stories coming out. I really did learn a lot this time. Istanbul, especially being like one of the leaders, it was kind of people would like look to you for a bit of guidance, what to do and say. This time, you could tell, especially because of the success of Istanbul, the kids had a lot of confidence, and it was great to see. It wasn't so much being like asked what to do or lead; they were the ones leading me. To be honest, it was great. They knew what to do, what to see. It was amazing, and it wasn't like a school trip, where you have a few kids who are not that interested. If you are, everyone was only there because they were dedicated and interested and wanting to see what happened. So the whole time it was just go, go, go. It was great. I'm really proud of everyone. There was very little rest. Everyone just went straight for it, and it was great to see. And yeah, I'm sure everyone was a bit tired at the end, but it was worth it for what we saw and what you guys will see from what we write. So yeah, I'm at work, so I'll pass on to the next person. But thank you.
I think that Angela's next.
Hi everyone. My name is Angela Bashaway. I'm from London. I've been with YJI for 2 years now, since 2021. About the conference, I initially wasn't sure if I'd be able to go, but YJI and specifically Jackie were very helpful in allowing me to be able to come to the conference in Prague. Jackie helped to write a letter to my school so that
I
they
can't hear
would
it.
be. Oh, sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Angela. You're doing good.
Okay, thank you. Jackie was helpful in writing a letter to my school so they'd be able to let me go to the Prague conference, as it clashed with my timetable in school. But I think the fact that my school allowed me to come showed that this was a very beneficial trip and that it was a good way to get journalism work experience and also to bond with everyone else. I was a bit apprehensive about traveling alone, but it was a smooth journey. It wasn't too bad. And then when I landed in Prague, Steve and Nora were also there to greet me, so I already felt comfortable coming to Prague. And then we got to the cottage, and it just felt very welcoming and like a family home. And it was very enjoyable, the overall trip. We climbed towers, we ate out at restaurants, we painted bricks, and we did a lot of different activities related to journalism, but also related to being able to bond with one another. So I think it was just overall very fun and very enjoyable, and it allowed me to bond with people from different countries and to also learn more about what's also happening in their own country. I know we had different talks from everyone and some about the environment, and it was interesting to hear things that were going on in their own home country that I wasn't aware of before. So I think overall the trip was definitely very helpful, and I'm very glad that I had the opportunity to come and to meet with everyone. And I'm just really glad that I had the opportunity to go.
Okay, next up is Nora.
Alrighty, hello everyone. Thank you for being here today. My name is Nora Springborn. I'm from Pekin, Illinois in the USA, and I've been a part of YJI since 2020. And I was last summer I was in Istanbul, and we're here in Prague. And I kind of want to start off with saying I think I'm echoing all of our thoughts, but the amount of times I go back through on my camera roll on my phone and look at all of our wonderful pictures at Prague, it just brings so much joy of all of our adventures. So I would say my favorite part of our conference this year was enjoying the simple moments because so much of the time we were, like what Owen said, go, go, go. We had so much to do, but it was some of the simple moments like the cooking in the kitchen or the bus ride to Dresden or just the talking on the streets and the photos with the sunsets and here and there that it helped build that sense of community and truly the international friendships that we still have. And I think another really cool thing that I caught on this year with the conference was just witnessing this process of communication. Like when we first met, it was the formal hi, what's your name? How old are you? Where are you from? And to see that grow to stories about your school, stories about your country and who you are, to us like discussing world problems and to trying to find solutions as well. And to see that progress over our time together and to know truly how quick these friendships grew and how the connection from all around the world made that possible and how they'll always be with us. And I think a huge part of that as well is it helps us all feel less alone as we pave our own paths in this world, as we find what we're meant to do, what we're set out to be. And it also helps sharpen our global learning, our cultural understanding, and just our enjoying every ounce of knowledge from each person and just taking that back with us to where we're from so that we can continue to share each other's stories and to keep the power of YJI going. And the most beautiful part is that these stories that we learn at this conference is they'll always be with us, whether that's in photo form or in writing form on YJI, and even just some videos that are posted online. We can always fall back on those, and we can always continue to share those with everyone else there that's willing to listen. So a huge thank you to all of our conference leaders, to Jackie and Steve, and all the people that helped facilitate this all and to make it all happen. We're here because of you, so thank you.
Awesome. And now it's time to hear from Usrat.
Hi everyone. So my name is Usrat. I am from Dhaka, Bangladesh, and I joined YJI back in 2020. Last year, I was supposed to be at the Istanbul conference, but I couldn't go because of visa issues. And I remember writing about it after the conference about the visa issues I have to face because of my passport. And even this year, I wasn't 100% sure if I was going to make it to Prague because of my passport. But I had to face a lot of obstacles, but Jackie helped me throughout the whole process. She wrote me letters, she emailed the embassy, and I somehow made it to Prague. And I was very happy because I had to face a lot of obstacles throughout the way. Even on the day that I landed, my dad had a seizure on the plane, and I remember just getting out of the plane, and Steve and Mary was there to welcome me, and they just made me feel comfortable right away, even though I was meeting them for the first time. And this was the first time in 2 years I had met them, and also this was the first time, and they just made me feel comfortable right away, even after I went through something very traumatic, I would say. But after I joined the conference, everyone made sure that I felt very comfortable. I joined the conference 2 days later, so I was a bit late to the introduction process and everything, but everyone just made sure that I was very comfortable. I think my favorite moment from the trip, I have a lot of memories, but this one has to be my favorite, was this one afternoon where we all sat down in the living room and we were talking about books. There was Cassie, there was Sheena, there was like Riyadh, Vicky, there was everyone, Holly there, and we were just talking about our favorite books, and everyone just shared their perspective. I think that was very beautiful, and it sums up the spirit of the whole conference, that people from different backgrounds came together and they shared their perspective, and everyone is like super focused on listening to your stories, and they're very I would say very they're very welcoming towards you, and that really made me feel very comfortable as someone who struggles with making friends I can get nervous around crowds, but I just really enjoyed myself throughout the trip. And thank you to Steve, Jackie, and everyone who organized this conference for so that I could experience this, because this has been a transformative experience. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Usrat. I'm looking for Gemma, and I had her, and now I don't see her. There she is. Sorry, Gemma. Gemma was the youngest person to come to our conference, and she was very new to YJI, so her perspective will be a little different.
I'm Gemma, and I'm from Chester, which is a city in England in the UK. And I started YJI in February. So I'd only been in it for 4 months when I went to the conference. And I think what I liked most about it was how welcoming and informal and friendly and how happy the environment was. It was really relaxed, and I was a bit anxious going in, but everyone made me feel very welcome. And it was as much about making friends and making connections as it was about doing journalism and learning new skills. And it also made me feel very safe, given that I'd only just joined and I'd never met anybody, and I'd only spoken to a few people who went on Zoom calls. And I had quite a difficult and stressful school year because of exams, but YJI I found gave me much more confidence in myself and lots of good feelings about myself when I got home, because everybody had just been so open to listening to everyone, and everyone had been so friendly and so happy all the time. And it was just so nice to be in such an informal but such a lovely environment for 5 or 6 days. Yeah, so loved it. Hope we can do it again.
Me too, Gemma. Me too. You were a wonderful addition. Now I'm looking for Liat. There she is.
Hi, everyone. I'm Liat, and I live in Virginia, but I'm currently in Boston for college. And I would say that the YJI Prague trip was one of the highlights of my summer. I truly loved it, not just because I got to go to a new city, which was also very exciting, but also because of the people there and the amazing community. I remember when I first arrived, Steve picked me up from the airport. But I remember when I walked in the cottage, there was everyone there to greet me. It was just giving hugs and introducing each other. And I didn't know some of these people outside of virtual, but immediately from the first minute, I kind of felt like I belonged in a kind of community. And I think every minute after that has been truly special in terms of bonding. I think when you're stuck together, when you're living together in a close cottage for about a week with people, you get to go really close to each other. And I really enjoyed also touring around Prague and Dresden as well, and getting to climb many towers. I do think that climbing all those towers was also a moment to bond. I think one of my favorite parts was a game we played where we exchanged gifts we brought from where we lived or where we are from. And what I truly loved about that was it's not just about exchanging gifts, right? It's also about learning about each other's culture. And I learned so much about every person just from the things they brought, or we'd have conversations about what they brought and where it was from and the story behind it. And I learned a lot just from talking to everyone about their different cultures, because everyone is so talented and unique and has special story and background and where they came from. And I definitely also learned a lot about journalism and things like networking, because we had these workshop talk things with I think Shayna, Rouge, Cassie, Owen, Rahina as well. And I thought those were really nice, because in between many of our activities, we get to sit down and really talk about things that each person is really knowledgeable about. And I learned a lot from that. I think this was one of my favorite experiences, and I really loved it. And thank you to Jackie and Steve for making all of this happen, because this would not have happened without them.
Thank you, Liat. And Anna, you're next.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, I'm Ana Fadul. I'm from Bogota, Colombia, and I've been involved with YJI for 2 years, I think. And well, after going to Istanbul last year, I knew that being in Prague was an experience that I definitely didn't want to miss. I think we can only define it as incredible, especially having the ability to connect with such amazing people that are on this call and that were on the conference, learning from them about their culture and journalism in general. We had the opportunity not only to learn about the Czech Republic and its history from, the local food, had a lot of potato dumplings, maybe too many. Every single historical site. But, I think the most important thing was how we learned a bit about how to do quality journalism. And also we had talks about everything with Rouge, Cassie, Shayna, and Regina Noen, who covered everything from networking to film. But I definitely think the highlight was the people and the stories we learned from them. I vividly remember when we stayed at the house and brainstormed stories or just talked about our lives in general, being in the kitchen and everybody just making jokes with each other. I think it was definitely an amazing experience. And thank you to everybody that was involved, especially to Steve and Jackie, who did a lot of the planning.
Hey, give me a minute. I'm pulling up Holly. Is Joanne here? Well, I don't, some of the,
You don't even like iPad.
yeah, I don't know who some of the people are when it says iPad or iPhone. So if anybody knows that Joanne is here, let me know. And thank you, Anna. And Holly, it's your turn.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Holly and I'm from Wales in the UK. And I've been a part of YJI since 2020. And I attended last year's conference in Istanbul. And this year I was one of the group leaders in Prague. And what I valued most about this conference was being able to learn from the alumni and hear about their journeys with YJI, but also kind of how YJI has shaped them into who they are today. And it really helped me appreciate the organization a bit more and see what and how you can kind of stay with YJI as you grow older and move forward with your life. And I also really enjoyed the city of Prague itself. It's now one of my favorite cities that I've ever visited. It's absolutely beautiful. And I want to say thank you to Vicky, who unfortunately can't be here today, but she did a really great job in kind of stepping out of her comfort zone and being a great leader and sharing with us the Czech culture. And so did Renata as well. And thank you again to Jackie, Steve, and all the donors and supporters of the conference for allowing us all to meet together and learn, laugh, collaborate with each other, and just kind of give us the opportunity to share our stories and share special moments. The one that kind of stood out to me the most was watching the sunset on the Charles Bridge. It's such a stunning place, but also we could see like the people dancing and singing music. And we saw a proposal on the Charles Bridge, which was really beautiful to see. And just kind of having those moments where when you go traveling, you have things that kind of stick with you, and being able to share those moments with the people that I've been speaking to online for years was really very special.
Thanks, Holly. All right, so Regina is up next.
Hi, my name is Regina Lopez. I'm from Mexico City, and I've been in YJI since 2020. Yeah, and this year we got to go to Prague. And I actually went to Istanbul 2 years ago too. And I consider that trip the greatest adventure of my life. And I left there a whole different person. And when Jackie said a few months later, hey, we're going to do Prague next, I didn't even know that we were going to do another conference. I didn't even let her finish her sentence. I was just like, yes. And These kind of conferences are really enriching because every conversation that we have, it turned out to be one of the greatest conversations I ever had, or the ones that I learned the most. And probably because we're all from whole different parts of the world, and we're everyone in YJI is so smart, and like Liat said, very unique. But the thing is that we are also really good friends with each other. So aside from those conversations, we'd also play with each other. We have such great chemistry. We would just play tag on the streets, or have dance breaks while we were working. Those are ones of my greatest memories. Or also, I think my favorite part of the conference, or the one that I remember the dearest, is kind of like an impromptu tradition that we have, that is a international candy night, where yes, when we all bring candy from our countries, and we would just stack it together and just attack it one night. Oh, that is usually very fun. And well, thank you for making this possible, Jackie and Steve, and everyone who supports YJI.
Thank you, Regina. Okay, we're going to hear from another brand new YJI person. She's not new anymore, but she was when it was time to come to the conference. So she was a new person. Let's hear from Anne Van Mill.
Hey, hello. My name is Anne. So, I am from the Netherlands, but now I am currently studying in Texas, USA. So I've been listening to all these stories, and I just want to add more and more to my story. I don't really know what to talk about because everybody has said so much already, and I want to repeat everything because everything they said is so true and so nice to hear all those memories again. So I'm trying to add something new, but I'm not sure if that's gonna work. Yeah. So when I came to Prague, I had absolutely no idea what I signed up for. Like I knew a little bit, like we were gonna be in this house and we were gonna see the city, but I had absolutely no expectations. And I think that was for me like the whole surprise of everybody being there and all the cultures and countries who attended. I had absolutely no idea, and it was so great to hear from everybody and to get to learn everybody, and all the for me the most important thing here was just all the trips we made, like within this one big trip. There were also so many. It feels like I learned so much about other cultures and other countries, and it kind of feels like I visited all of those countries within one country. Yeah, it's super strange, but that's kind of how it feels. And also, that's something that hasn't been talked about already. But for me, the language thing was a big one. I like, my English is not amazing, and I knew that. And I also knew by the time that I was gonna go to the United States, and so I remember that the first days in Prague, it brought me a little bit of a big headache, not being able to speak my own language all day, and that was really it was really really hard, and to express yourself in another language than your own, that can be so hard. But I learned so much about that, and everybody was so loving about it. And if you didn't know a word, you could just you could say it in whatever language, and people would try to understand you. And I remember this one time sitting at the table, and I brought cheese and dips for the cheese, and I had no idea how to translate what was in the things. And I know that all those people were staring at me, and I was trying to imagine how I was trying to translate it, and I just couldn't. And I was trying to use Google Translate, and that was how eventually people knew what was in the dips. And that was just such a great moment that nobody cared how you spoke English. It was all fine. It was all good. And for me, it was like the perfect, gave me so much confidence to come here to the United States after that, and so much more confidence in my language. Yeah. So that's I think that is the biggest part of my story. It's just really special experience you can't really find somewhere else. And I realized that is like, it's a, yeah, it's an experience you can't find somewhere else. It's just only this organization that provides that experience, and that's so crazy and so cool.
Thanks, Anne. You did a great job.
Yeah.
All right, Cassie's up next. All done.
Jackie. So I'm Cassie Lloyd-Perrin. I am in London in the UK, and I've been involved in YJI since 2003, so 20 years. And I was there as one of the alums and relatively new board members. We came on board early on this year, and I'd wanted to come to the last conference, but hadn't been able to. And so to be able to join the conference this year with not only all the students and Jackie and Steve, who I love dearly and have known for such a long time, but also to meet in person Aruj and Shana and the other board members was just really special. And I love Prague and Dresden. I'm privileged to have been there before, but it was amazing to see them through others' eyes, and that, you know, and see and appreciate new details and new ways of looking at things. And I think what it meant to me was really that sense of what it is the organization stands for, and not only where we've been, and you know, I was involved when it was, you know, the early days of it being international, and to see where it's grown to today, and how it's, you know, in its sort of core values and the way that it works and what's really important has stayed the same, but also how it's grown and evolved, and to see the experience of the students today really connects it sort of back to what we talk about in board meetings that otherwise would be very disconnected, and so to really see that and live that and meet everyone, it was such a privilege to be able to be there, and I'm very grateful to everyone for being so welcoming of these, you know, older alums who just turn up and aren't writing anymore, but are still part of the community. So that was it was a lovely experience, and thank you to everyone, and to Jackie and Steve for bringing us all together.
Shana's up next. I hope you can turn your camera on. There you go. Oops, wait a minute. Well,
hi, everybody.
Wait a second, Shana, I've got to find you so I can spotlight you.
I'm right here, Jackie. I'm right here.
Okay, you're in the ether somewhere. Oh wait, there you are. Sorry, everyone. Shana and Cassie each did some really valuable tutorials for the students. Shana talked about the importance of contacts in your professional life, and Cassie talked about values. And she was very humble, so she didn't really say about that, but the students' feedback was that they really found these conversations with these older alums really helpful and useful in their own lives today. And Aruj, who is growing into a climate expert, talked about climate and the importance of covering climate change in journalism. So go ahead, Shana. I just wanted to say something about the way you guys contributed, because aside from just being wonderful people, you also were teaching. So
yeah, thanks, Jackie. It's great to see everybody. I feel like it's a little bit of a reunion as well as a download of everybody's experiences. Bear with me, I'm a little under the weather today, but didn't want to miss the opportunity to just touch base, say hi, and share a little bit about my experiences. So I am in Santa Cruz, California, and I first started publishing with YJI in 1997. So quite some time ago, and transitioned from being a student to a longtime board member. So I've gotten to watch this organization grow and shift from what was a local group that met at the newspaper on Wednesday evenings and talked about what we were going to write into this incredible international organization. So it's been a real privilege for me. But mostly, my contact has been from a leadership perspective. So understanding the mission intellectually and helping kind of drive the organization, and understanding what it was to me in my youth. But really just seeing it kind of from that virtual leadership seat. And with the creation of the conference, there was a new level of opportunity. I really wanted to make it to Istanbul, wasn't able to do that, but particularly seeing the outcome of that conference, knew that I really wanted to be a part of it. So made it happen, made it to Prague. And so I got to connect with the youth that are currently being impacted by the great work of the organization and see just the multitude of positive ways that YJI is supporting and influencing the development of these really incredible young people, particularly because everyone was traveling. Everyone was outside of their comfort zone, and they were learning and exploring and living together for this period of time. And that's a stretch for anybody. And so to see these young people bring their drive and their passion and their sort of zest for learning to this experience was incredible. The resilience that the young people developed and displayed while we were there was really surprising to me. The level of curiosity and just openness to cross-cultural connection was staggering. And, while I could have potentially understood it on some level from afar, I think being there, it really got to memorialize that for me. And as Jackie mentioned, we had some moments to convene as a board in person, both, to fortify those bonds as a formal group, but also in those informal moments where I got to, bunk in the basement of the cottage with Aruj and hear all about her intentions for her work in Harvard and her relationship, and for Cassie and I to absolutely lose our cool in like a fit of giggles at the dinner table, a la 13 and 14-year-old girls. It was really fun and definitely something that we needed to be there in the moment to experience. So I really felt like it helped me understand on a deeper level the impact that we're having on these young people and watching them blossom, and also just reinvigorated my commitment to the board after all these years and to the organization. So just thrilled to have been a part of it.
Thank you. Thank you, Shayna. I thought maybe what we could do now, is there anybody who was at the conference? Wait a minute. It's Mary's turn. Mary. I just got done telling Mary, you're next.
That's okay.
No.
You've forgotten.
No.
Yeah. The brief moment.
I know you wish that you were squirming out of this, but you're not. And I'm looking for you. Where are you?
Oh, I can spotlight myself. Hold on.
Okay, that would be great.
Yeah, she's.
Oh, there she is. Thank you.
Hello. So, what I was supposed to say, my name's Mary. I'm from the United States, and I've been involved with YJI for a very, very, very long time. So the conference in Prague was great. I was lucky enough to also have been at the Istanbul conference. And for me, one of the more interesting or like moving things that I saw at the Prague conference was noticing how all of the people who were in Istanbul and then also came back to Prague, how much they had grown and how much more confident they were in being in that foreign country, in that foreign city, not speaking the language. And they had this like you could tell they'd matured a lot and they were able to go out and do things. And some of them all of them had become like leaders in their own right, especially Regina and Holly, who I think are both still here, who did amazing jobs as group leaders. They didn't lose anyone in their group, and you could always see them off bonding and making sure that the other students were forming those amazing little connections that they were able to form in Istanbul. And I think that support from our students who were in Istanbul, who helped make sure that the Prague experience was just as wonderful as the Istanbul one, was really great. Not to steal what everybody else said, but I thought that the really the best part of the conference was seeing all of the students getting to know each other and bonding and forming those connections and learning about other countries. I had been to Prague before, so while it was fun to see the city again, really seeing all of the students was what made it special.
And true to form, Mary did not share that she has been involved with YJI all her life because she is our daughter. And she also, I want to say, this is not just mom bragging. Mary was a really critical part of planning both conferences. She was undisputably the leader of Google Maps and traveling around. She did a great job of figuring out where we should go each day and what we should do. And Mary is currently teaching high school, and she is a language specialist. So she was also.
I do not speak Turkish or Czech, though. It is two
No.
of my major failings.
No, she doesn't speak those languages, but she does have a lot of language skills, and that was very nice to share with the kids. And so I'd like to show some pictures, and I'd like to let anyone ask questions. If you have any questions, I want to show pictures and let the students kind of riff off the pictures. So all right, so I think you can just see this. Okay, so we tried to feed everybody pretty well. And I'm trying to move this so the whole picture's in the frame. Did I do it, or is it not? Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Can I just
Thank
jump
you.
in for a moment?
Yeah.
So we see Nora and Anna here, who we heard from today, but we also see Vicky, who it sounds like was unfortunately unable to join us today.
No,
Vicky is from Czechia, and she also was such an incredible leader in this situation. She was able to do a lot of language translation and just sort of pointing us in the right direction. She really stretched outside of her own comfort zone in rising to this leadership occasion and helping people to sort of learn about and appreciate her city and her culture. And so I just want to give a shout out to Vicky and what an incredible job she did in her sort of impromptu role of working with all of us and helping us feel at home in her country.
she definitely did. And I was really proud of how she did that. She really wanted to be here today, but was very ill, so could not. What she's helping everyone do here, this is Nora and Anna, and they are shelling peas. And believe it or not, some of these kids had never shelled peas before. They didn't really know how that worked. So that was kind of an unexpected lesson, but they all chipped in with chores around the cottage, and this is at our dining table, and they were all shelling peas that we were going to have that evening. And this was kind of a little, as everybody's waiting for people to arrive, there was a robust game. Anna, would you like to tell everybody what the ball's name is? Somehow you guys named the ball.
Marushka.
And that's
we were not that good at playing though.
Well, that I can't tell who. I know that's Biga and that's you. Is that Vicky? I think it's Vicky.
Yeah, it was Vicky.
Yeah, that's Vicky.
And I still don't have all my vision.
Gemma. That's Gemma.
I know that's Gemma, but I couldn't tell
Yeah,
Vicky. Okay. And there's Vicky with Anna. I think this was at the Prague.
That was the first day in
Castle.
So the broadcast.
Yeah. And Joanne was not able to be here today. She's starting her first year at Cambridge, and today was move-in day, and she's having some trouble getting some of her belongings located. But that's Vicky and Angela and Gemma and Cassie and Joanne from Hong Kong, and Regina, Aruj, Anna, and Usrat. Again, I think, Regina, maybe you should explain what's happening here.
I think that was our first day, and we wanted to see it, and there was not enough space, so I just looked out for the best solution that was the best that we came up with.
That's a pretty good answer. And there's Vicky leading us, and she's getting used to using the flag to keep us following her when she was showing us some really cool things in her country. This is in Prague Castle. And that is Angela. I think it's out by the astronomical clock.
No, it's by the guards at Prague Castle.
Oh, Steve, oops, what happened here?
I don't know.
There we go, sorry. I guess this was outside by the changing of the guard at Prague Castle. Liat, what's happening here? Where are you guys? Uh-oh, maybe Liat had to go.
Maybe. We're on our way to lunch.
We're on our way to lunch here in this picture. No wonder they all look very hungry. Oops. And Prague had a lot of fancy lemonade. And that's what they have here. This is Holly and Vicky and Nora. That would be Wales, Czechia, and the US right there, clutching their lemonade. And somehow Liat got to crash the UK party here because we have Liat from the US and Holly from Wales and Angela from England and Gemma from England. Do you guys, Angela, you want to talk about this a little bit?
I'm not sure where this photo was taken. I think Liat's taking it.
Steve says it was lunch the first day.
Oh.
Maybe that was outside the castle.
Yeah, I think it was outside the castle.
Sorry. And there's Vicky leading us again, and Joanne, ever helpful. And she is sticking right by Vicky. Vicky got a lot of support. Mary, do you want to talk about this? Because Owen's not here.
That appears to be me and Owen. We are definitely at the top of one of the towers that we climbed. I cannot say for certain which tower. We climbed, I believe, 9 different towers. So after a while, the towers all kind of blur together.
Steve said it was the first one.
The first one. All right, if it's the first one, then that would have been the one next to the Charles Bridge.
No, this was the church bell tower before that.
Oh, the church bell tower. Okay, that was a bell tower on a church that we climbed all the way up to the top of.
Okay, Holly, where are you in this picture?
At the John Lennon Wall.
With Vicky.
And yeah, we coordinated our outfits so that we looked like twins that day.
You know, I was just thinking the other day about one of the things that happened at this conference was that you were all trading clothes and wearing each other's dresses. It was very sweet. These 3 are not here on this call today. This is Biga, she's from Turkey. This is Erin, she's from Cyprus. And this is Naz, and she is also from Turkey. And that's me, in front of the Lenin Wall. And there's Vicky and Joanne. Don't know exactly what they're doing, but they're having fun doing it. It looks like they might be in Dresden or at the castle. Castle. And there's Gemma. Do you want to talk about the views from the tower tops, Gemma?
Yeah. Oh, I can't believe you used that photo. My phone had this really awful filter on it where it smoothed out my face every time I tried to take a photo of someone. And
I'm blaming Steve. He put pictures.
Yeah, so I didn't put the filter on. That was my phone. All the views, they were really, I thought that the views made climbing all the stairs completely worth it when we got to the top. And after maybe Tower 5, it was repetitive, but it was still worth it when we got to the top.
I'm glad you said that. Oh, there's Gemma again. You seem to be examining someone's feet.
I was looking at the fountain, and I think Anne had her camera out and was taking photos of me.
Anne was very good about taking lots of pictures.
Yes.
We had a couple of pictures of Anne with the camera up to her eye. This looks like the sort of joke that only someone from Wales and someone from Scotland could enjoy together. And does anybody remember, Anna or Holly, do you guys remember where this was?
Outside the Czech Senate, I believe.
I think that's right.
Yeah, there was a fountain there that we sat next to.
And there's Aaron and Vicky with the red roofs of Prague behind them on top of one of the towers. There's Regina and Anna and Biga. This was on top of one of the towers again. Lots of selfies happening. There's Anna and Liat and Joanne and Holly. We had terrific weather the whole time, with the exception of the day we went to Dresden when we had to get out the rain ponchos. Who wants to talk? Gemma, you want to talk about going to the libraries? You'll all have to read Gemma's piece about the libraries. It's not yet published. We just started publishing our Prague work, so that you'll be seeing all of that coming very soon. But there's one piece up now by Vicky about sharing her country with the rest of us, and it's really, really good. So I hope you guys will all read that. And Holly's peeking through the book stacks. Gemma, do you want to talk about seeing the two libraries?
Yeah, so we visited this library and the Baroque library in the Clementina, and I thought it would be fun to compare them both and see their similarities and differences in the article, which will be published, I hope.
Oh, yes.
With the rest of the Prague pieces. Yeah, so this library was very much a modern sort of library where students might go to study. And there was actually an English section as well, where I know that me and Angela went and looked at all the English books to see which ones there were, if we recognized any. Yeah, but it was a really nice library. It had a nice skylight.
All right, Nora, you're the only one here today from this picture.
Yeah, I think this was some tower, one of the many that we climbed. And of course, every tower we got our pictures, so.
So this is the inside of the Baroque library that Gemma was just talking about. Oops, sorry.
Even more magnificent than that picture shows.
It is just jaw-dropping, stunning, that Baroque library in the Clementinum. And this young woman in the back is Renata Pernagrova. She is also from the Czech Republic. Sadly, wasn't able to join us today. But these are our two Czech students, and then Holly and Joanne. Lots of selfies. Lots of laughs. Lots of posing. In this picture, there is someone from the Czech Republic, two people from Turkey, one person from Hong Kong, one person from Wales, one person from the US, and one person from Cyprus. And that is just part of our group. That's nice. Who wants to talk about the ice cream dessert that you all very much wanted to get? Come on. Oh, Regina might not have had it. Oh, were you able to get a vegan one, Regina?
No, but that's okay.
Okay, Gemma, you really wanted to get this thing. So you need to give us a review here. How was it? What was it like?
So we kept seeing these shops which seemed to sell these sort of cinnamon doughy ice cream things. And then we tried them, and I thought they were really nice. And then it turned out that these weren't actually like a Czech thing. It's just something that someone had set up for tourists, and then it had caught on, and suddenly there were about 100 shops which all sold them.
All right, Angela, what's happening here? You showing everyone the city?
Yeah, showing the city on top of, I'm not sure which tower this is, but I know it had a great view.
Anne, you might have taken this picture. So where are they in this picture, Anne? Even if you didn't take it, I know you know.
I definitely haven't taken this picture, but they were in a metro station because we used a lot of metros to get around through the city. So yeah. I don't know which metro station, if that was your picture.
Oh, I don't know. But everybody learned a little bit about how to get around on the public transportation in Czechia. And some of them have told me since that it helped them when they went to the next city. They felt very confident. I think that might have been Regina. Was that you, Regina? After learning how to do it?
Oh, yes. Actually, it was real. Mary made me memorize all the train stations. So if I go back to Prague, I know how to get around.
Perfect.
Oh, Gemma and Angela. Angela, you want to talk about this? This was one of my favorite things that we saw in Prague.
This is also one of my favorites. We're in front of the astronomical clock in Prague, and I've seen it all over Pinterest, so it was amazing to see it in person and to watch also when everyone gathered around to hear it sound. I think it was at 12 o'clock.
This is clearly a joke only Czech people can understand. These are Czech students, Vicky and Renata. I don't know what they were laughing about. Maybe us. And there is Vicky showing something to Naz. Naz is from Turkey and she is sick today. Unfortunately, she felt very bad. She couldn't be here. But they're inside the Clementinium, I think, and they're looking up at the different displays. And Vicky wasn't responsible for telling us about everything, but she seemed to know a lot of information that she was willing to share, and that was really helpful. Plus, she was also doing a lot of translating. Oh, this is a better picture of that library. Cassie?
I am here. Yeah, no, I mean, it was such a beautiful place, that library, and I just arrived, and it was a really great introduction to the group, to be in such an inspiring environment.
I thought you and Vicky were just imagining having this in your homes.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's totally true. Yeah.
Everyone loved the Baroque library. Dana, did you get tired of climbing?
Never. It was great cardio, made me feel alive. But certainly I think that, you read about Prague in preparation for going, and it talks about the city of spires and the aerial views, and you just cannot underestimate how incredible it is to see the city from all of those different aerial views.
And that's Renata and Cassie and I and Vicky and Regina on one of the trains.
That's a bus,
that's
I think.
Oh, that's a bus?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's the bus to a cottage.
Oh, okay, thank you.
I don't know if it's the 356 or the 306, but it's the bus to the cottage.
This is the path leading up to the cottage, and I don't know what's happening, but they are clearly enjoying themselves. That's Naz and Vicky. And I don't know what is matter with Erin. Maybe she can't catch up. This is our day in Dresden. Anna and Gemma, either of you guys want to weigh in on the day in Dresden?
Out of all pictures, you chose that one. No, Dresden was really nice. I don't know for everybody else, but it was the first time in Germany. So it was great having the opportunity to visit the country, to learn their history. We unfortunately had a lot of rain, but
apparently you missed the lesson on how not to suffocate yourself.
I'm fine.
You came through it.
I think this was on the bus to Dresden. One of the things that we were able to do was charter a bus, which was really nice because it was only us on that bus. It was a small bus, and they took us from very close to our cottage to Dresden, dropped us off, and then took us back. And it was actually less money than buying everybody a bus ticket, and it was so much safer and nicer for all of us. And occasionally we find a playground or a swing, and Joanne is taking advantage of that. This was in Dresden. Oh, Liat, do you want to tell them what's behind you?
I think she had to go.
Oh, Liat maybe had to leave.
Yeah.
Anna, do you remember what that is behind you? You want to talk about that?
I remember that Liat was translating the German that was written on it, but I do not remember what it meant.
I think it's all the various kings and leaders on a timeline. I think that's what that mural is. It's a very long mural. And Vicky in Dresden. And I think they're in Dresden here too, right?
Yeah, that's walking along the Elbe River.
And Vicky and Anna. And Bia. And Usrat and Liat and Anna. And there we are in our ponchos, advertising Prague in the city of Dresden. We enjoyed looking at the various public art in Dresden and the paintings, murals. We were glad that Mary found so many ponchos for us. It's another scene from dinner. Anybody want to talk about the food, sharing some food, any favorite things that you got to try besides the international candy pile? I seem to recall some people making some really nice food for everyone. Rouge made a chicken dish, Pakistani chicken dish that lots of people liked. What else do you guys remember? Jump in.
Also, Erin is an amazing cook, and she made me like kind of a tofu vegetable thing. I think that's one of the best dinners I've ever had in my life.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
that's
remember
Erin.
that day. Yeah,
Go ahead.
that day, sorry, the day we were cooking, me, Erin, Mary, Vilke, we are all in the kitchen just dancing and helping each other cook. And I remember Aruj was making her signature chicken curry dish, which was so good. And we did this like tofu zucchini thing and this egg and zucchini thing for people who are not vegan. And then we also did the roasted veggies. It was a super fun night where we just cooked together, had fun in the kitchen, played music. We played Bollywood music. We played music from Turkey. So it was super fun.
And they got very attached to the beach ball. I was busy going to the airport when they were playing with the beach ball, so I really did not understand the connection that they formed with this beach ball, but they definitely liked the beach ball. And these were some shirts that they won in the exchange. So Biga says, Czech Republic, you're my darling dumpling. And Vicky's is a New York t-shirt. So they were some of the items that were up for exchange in the gift, in the Yankee Swap gift game. And this is Vicky doing her very first news interview, which is a really big step. She has done so much really good art and really good commentary. And she and a couple of other students decided to work together, and and write about this very, very old carousel that we stumbled upon by accident in a park in Prague. And it was there only temporarily, and lots of us wrote it. And she and two other people, she did the translating. Liat was part of this. Liat, who was the other person besides you and Vicky? Oh, Liat's not here anymore. So they interviewed this guy who was running the carousel, and this is Vicky doing her first ever interview. And there's Cassie on one of the horses on the carousel. And here's Vicky at the monument to the heroes of the Czech heroes that fought against the Nazi occupiers. And this is the church where they took refuge and eventually died. Above Vicky's head, I think it might be in the next photo, or maybe you can see here, there's some bullet holes, and there's a plaque there honoring the Czech heroes who fought against the Nazis. And Vicky is explaining all of that to everyone. Well, here's some evidence of the candy exchange. I see Gemma's Percy, is it Percy Pig? Is that right, Gemma? Percy Pig. And
yeah, it's Percy Pig.
And lots of M&Ms, and there was all kinds of candy. This doesn't even scratch the surface. But this was in our living room in our cottage, and the books that the girls are holding are journals that each one of them got a journal so they could keep track of their own experiences, but also invite their friends to write notes in the journal to them. So that's what Anne is doing here. She's writing in someone's journal, and I don't know, it looks like Erin ate a lot of candy here in this picture because she's looking a little out of it. But this is just sort of a typical kind of sitting around talking. And there's Naz and Vicky enjoying a grilled cheese sandwich. Kind of a classic. And there's Vicky on this carousel that she was writing about with Liat, and I am sorry, I cannot remember the other student who was working on it with them. Oh, Usrat, I think. Usrat, were you the other person?
Yeah, it was me, Liat, and Vicky.
I'm so sorry. Why don't you talk about it for a minute?
Yeah, so we were at the carousel, and that day, Liat and I were planning to do a story together, a new story. And I saw the carousel, and I approached Liat, and I was like, let's do a story on this carousel. We can just interview the guy. And then Vicky, but the guy was Czech, so we couldn't talk to him. And then Vicky was like, I could do the translation for you guys. And I was like, oh, why don't you be a part of the story as well? So we did this interview together. And it wouldn't have been possible without Vicky because she did such an amazing job with the translation. This was her first interview, but she did so incredible. She talked to the guy, she made sure the guy was comfortable, and he shared all the details. And then we went back home that day, and then we translated the story and worked on it. It was super fun.
You guys did a good job. Oh, Anne, I see you at the top of this pyramid. What was happening here?
Yeah, I made my little own trip with Chama and Anjola. We saw this big thing from the tower that is behind it. I think you can see it through the trees a little bit. But yeah, we saw that thing and I wanted to find it. So I don't know what it was, but something was taking really long. So we went on our own little adventure and found this thing, and yeah, then we climbed it. It was a smaller tower than we were used to by the time. Yeah, we enjoyed it.
Oops, sorry. Okay, so that's the bullet holes where this is the Czech monument to these two heroes. They parachuted in and tried to fight the
Nazi bigwig.
Yeah, they did. And that's on the carousel again. And there's Joanne. I think she's sitting in the backyard having a cup of coffee or tea. this was that night that Nora was talking about, the golden hour on the top of the tower over the Charles Bridge, our last night together. And they're all awash in the golden sunset. This was at a castle, Karlsson Castle, out in Moravia, Moravia. And that's at that same castle with Renata and Naz and Vicky. Okay, who could talk about this? Angela, do you want to talk about this?
Yes, we painted beneficial bricks that are in support of charity, specifically for people with special needs. And YJI told us about it, and then we went over and painted them. We were split up into two groups, and we created our own bricks. One group did it just centered on YJI and the organization, and just making it colorful with dots. And the other group did it around their countries and their nationalities and where they came from. And there was a large wall with all the different bricks from people who had visited the beneficial brick site and created their own bricks. And there were some from bands and different slogans and just people's names, and it was very beautiful to see them all.
Nora, you were there too. Well, everybody was there. Well, most everybody was there. What do you have to add to what they're busy painting the YJI brick? What did you like about this experience, Nora? I think you enjoyed it.
I liked how different it was, how we went from a long day to climbing towers, probably walking thousands of steps, and then we just took a moment to paint bricks and to enjoy each other's company through that as well.
And watch for Angela's story, because she's writing something about this. You can kind of see when it gets. And they really did work on it together. And while we're zoomed in on these hands, who wants to talk about what Aruj did for all of you? How about you, Anne? Did you get henna, Anne? Mehdi?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, Arish did this beautiful henna on all of our hands. We have a few of you to choose one from, and we all have, I think most of us had our hands done with henna, and she did just such an amazing job on doing that, because it took so long per hand, and she did all of us. So I really appreciate her patience, plus I don't know, with everything, with all of her hands, and she did such an amazing job. And I still had it on my hand for 2 more weeks or something. So it was really good, really great.
I was surprised that Aruj didn't get terrible cramps in her hands after doing so many.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, what are you doing here, Nora?
We are doing the YJI logo with our hands.
Which also, fun fact, translates in sign language into peace and love. And that is something that Aruj and another YJI student figured out probably in about
5 years ago.
5 years ago, they figured out if they made a Y with their hands and then a J and an I, it turned out into the hand signs, the sign language for peace and love. So they all did it over their brick. So that was fun. And Anna, where are you guys here? Do you know what you're doing?
Yeah, I think it was after we went to a coffee shop and we just stopped and took pictures in front of some statue.
It was a special statue. Don't you remember, Anna?
What was
what was it?
What was the statue?
They made us take a picture in front of the statue because we were writing a story about breasts.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah,
the
you're
statue
right.
behind it was a naked woman. So we had, I think Steve made us take a picture there.
But the people in that statue appear to have clothes on. So I'm confused.
Well, it could just be the angle.
No, the one in the back. You see it?
Maybe. Looks like wrapping, some sort of toga. I don't know. There's Vicky looking out of the Charles Bridge as the sun is setting over Prague Castle. Ah, now you can really see. Can you see as I'm zooming in? Can you guys see that, the zoom in? Yeah, this is the kind of work that Aruj did on almost everyone's hands. It takes a long time. And Owen had these sunglasses. Anyone, Mary, can you talk about Owen's sunglasses?
So Owen had been saying the whole trip that he wanted sunglasses, and we never saw anyone selling sunglasses at like a reasonable price. And then we walked by this little tourist shop when we were out visiting that castle, and they were selling these sunglasses for like a couple dollars. And he bought them. It was the most ridiculous thing. And he made every single person in the group, he even got Steve and Jackie to do it, take a brief, like 2-second video of them wearing the sunglasses. And he said he was going to compile all the videos into like a video compilation. I don't know if he's done it yet.
We don't have
No,
that.
I don't think he's done it yet, but I'm sure he will because he was really into it. But they look like they're photoshopped on, and it's really funny.
But they really are sunglasses.
That's what they look like. Yeah, they're real glasses.
Oh, we're back to the bricks again. All right.
Hi, everybody. My name is Andrea Fashaway. I'm from London with Youth Journalism International, and we're currently in Prague in the Czech Republic. We're on the Charles Bridge, as you can see. It's a lovely sight. The sun's setting, so it looks really beautiful right now. And we're all just enjoying all the views and all the company. And there's a lovely orchestra played by one man in the background as well. And it's really beautiful here.
And we have one.
Great. My name is Nora Springborn. I'm from Pekin, Illinois in the USA, and I'm a correspondent for Youth Journalism International, and here we are in Prague in the Czech Republic for our 2023 International Global Conference with 20 amazing individuals from all around the world. Here we are on top of the Old Town Bridge, this tower, and we are here at the sunset at golden hour looking at this beautiful bridge. Here is the Charles Bridge, and right up there, over there is the Prague Castle, where we adventured to a couple weeks ago. So enjoy this and go YJI.
All right. So I want to have everybody have the gallery view. I know that we've lost some people, but I'm wondering if anyone has questions for our students about their experience in Prague, or any questions you have about YJI. They're here to answer your questions. It's okay to unmute yourself and ask a question if you want to.
I don't have a question, but I would like to say I'd like to be an 18-year-old girl for a while so I could go to one of these conferences. That's all. Looks like a lot of fun.
It was fun.
It was a ton of fun. I'm curious to hear from the young people who did go to the conference, what lesson you learned or experience you had that changed something in your life afterwards. Like, how have you applied what you learned and what you did there?
Uh-oh, they weren't prepped for this question.
They were not. It's spontaneous.
For me, I think practically speaking, I think mainly the food and learning different recipes from everyone. Like, I never used to put zucchini into eggs, and now I do it here. So I've definitely learned different recipes, and I've started making them myself here.
That's great.
Angela, do you remember who put the zucchini in the eggs?
It's Erin's dish, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. What about you, Usrat?
It wasn't something new that I learned, but I think the whole experience kind of reaffirmed for me that when you have a really young and dedicated group of people together, you can really accomplish something, and the whole process becomes much more enjoyable, and it becomes much more, I think, I would say easier, because you have this bunch of very passionate and dedicated young people who really want to do something meaningful. So you can brainstorm ideas, and you just feel like your ideas feel so validated. So it just kind of reaffirmed that belief that you can make meaningful changes, impactful changes, if you are in a passionate group. Yeah.
Nora.
I would say just that applying it to many different ways of learning. Like right now in some of my classes, we're talking a lot about like global perspectives and cultural understanding. And for me, I'm like, oh, that makes sense because my friends in Turkey and my friends in the UK and my friends in South America, and it's just all clicking and making sense because of that understanding.
That's great. Holly.
I was going to say one of the things that kind of stuck with me was Cassie's kind of presentation on the importance of knowing your values and how they can kind of guide you through life. And I just really liked how we all kind of sat down and had to think about what things are important to us. And I think it was especially important being all together with like different cultures, that we can see kind of how at the core we all still value the same things and how we all still have things in common, and all want to do the same, kind of make a difference in the world and be happy. So I thought that was quite a wholesome moment.
How about Anna?
I think that because we were not in a normal setting, we were like obligated to be our like our authentic selves. And that is something like you can apply to your own life. Because maybe we're not always true to ourselves when we're like in our routine, but in such a different settings, we got to just experience life like we wanted to.
Good. How about you, Gemma?
I thought I came away thinking that you don't need to have the loudest voice in the room to still have your opinion heard at YJI.
I'm glad you felt that way. That's awesome. How about you, Regina?
Probably something that stuck with me. Well, in this conference, I got to be a group leader. So this time, I wasn't just looking out for myself. I was also looking out for everyone else. Well, my group, not everyone else. But like, I don't know, like the thing that I kind of learned is to also take care of the people around you. Mm-hmm.
How about Angela?
I think just generally understanding that everyone's different perspectives and how that still allows them to understand other people, so that clear communication between one another and like being able to speak with others and have a mutual understanding.
I think you also learned a lot about air travel and how you can't count on your bags getting to where you're going, and or even the flights going when they say they would. She had her very first flight by herself, and everyone said, oh, it'll be fine, everything will be just very smooth. And every kind of problem cropped up for poor Angela, but she rolled with it all really well. And I bet you feel like a totally seasoned traveler by now, Angela.
Yeah, I think I do.
Yeah, did you ever get all of your luggage back?
Yes, luckily.
Good. I think in both directions they lost her luggage. coming to the conference, they lost your luggage, and then going when you were going home, they lost.
Yeah, going as well.
How about you, Anne?
That's true, Mary.
Yeah.
And they left her stranded at the airport in Munich, was it, for hours?
Yeah, she did not have an easy journey, but she made it, and she just rolled with it. She really, really did. How about you, Anne? Anything you're using now as an exchange student in Houston, Texas?
Well, as I said earlier, what I use here the most is, I think, like the confidence in my English. But I think from the conference, I really like what Nora was saying. Like it made the world in some way. The world is so big, but it made the world a little bit smaller. Getting to know all those people and yeah, also I think the pieces everybody wrote in all the books, like reading my book, it made me like it gave it to be honest, it gave a little bit of more confidence in some stuff, like that those people who saw you only for a week, who met you in 1 week, can write such beautiful things about you and about everything. That's really, yeah, to be honest, yeah, that gives a little bit of more confidence in just in life in general.
Usra, what were you gonna say about the book?
Yeah, I think I agree with what Anne just said because I didn't realize how the others perceived me because most of the time I felt somewhat anxious because it's a new group, but also they made me feel very comfortable. But after the conference was done, I read through all the sweet messages, and you realize they observed the small moments where you might have felt anxious, but someone turned that into something very positive and wrote about it in your notebook. So you feel like 1,000 times better about yourself. So that was very wholesome, I would say, of everyone, and just very kind.
Shayna and Cassie, did you guys, or Mary, or Rouge? Rouge, we got to come back to Rouge if she's still here.
No, I think she had to go.
Oh, she had to go. Okay. Can I just brag and say Rouge is studying at Harvard on a Fulbright scholarship? We're very proud of her, and we're very excited that she is near us because Boston is not that far. So we're very excited that Rouge is in the neighborhood. Cassie and Shayna, did you guys want to say anything more about things that you took away?
I think one of the things that I took away in having an extremely busy life, lots of things going on, working full time, raising a family, being in school, like all of these things going on, it all goes by really, really fast. And one of the things that I was inspired by was watching all the young people in their ability to be present in and savor the moment. And just find that joy and that centering in the moment of day to day. And I've really tried to carry that with me, to just slow down, take a breath, look at all the beauty that's around me, look at all the wonderful people and relationships, and to integrate that in a more mindful way.
And I think for me, one of the things is the importance of the ability to be wholly yourself in those kinds of situations, and seeing such a variety of perspectives, and everyone kind of learning their way and learning who they are, myself included, that ability to be yourself and having that safe space to just be where you are in the moment. It was really wonderful to observe that in others, and also for me myself, while we were there, just everyone felt kind of safe and welcome, and as Shayna said, like feeling the joy in that group and community.
Thanks, Cassie. Anybody have any questions, anything before we say goodbye? And thank you so much for everybody who hung in there for all 90 minutes. That's a long time. I know that some of our students are on this call, some of the ones that were not in Prague. I hope that you enjoyed listening to the adventures and seeing some of the pictures. There's going to be more. Check the website. The first piece is up, but those little videos that you saw of Nora and Angela will be up soon, and lots of other coverage. We've probably got about 30 pieces that are going to be going up about different things they saw or thought, felt, and did. It's really going to be quite a collection. And I appreciate the parental support. I know there's some parents on this call. Thank you so much. And some alums from Malawi. David Capito is here from Malawi. And Frida is not an alum. She's still a student. She's out in Wisconsin. She's here. And thank you for being here, everybody. Anybody?
I also just, I want to jump in and say thank you so much to Jackie and Steve for the hours and hours and hours that you put into prepping for the conference, ensuring that it was thoughtful, it was organized, that everybody there felt cared for and loved and supported, and were able to kind of branch out and have this adventure together. It would not have happened without your meticulous planning, and that includes Mary as well. So thank you so much, Majerus Collins team.
Oh, thank you. It was fun. We had a good time.